19. Welcome back, and Will, welcome to the final Change 19.
Gosh, is that time already?
It is. Soon we'll be on to Change 20, I imagine. So we are going to be wrapping up this year's Change 19 campaign, and we're going to be looking back and seeing what we've discussed, if we can remember, and also talking about what change has happened during this campaign. So Will, as a whole, we've spoken about many different things. Let's start with physical change. What's happened in terms of that when we've spoken about it?
One of the biggest things is the increase in grants that we've been able to bring money in through Catherine House, thank you Kelly, which has enabled us to employ a senior caseworker and personnel manager, which is fantastic. In addition to that, we've been able to look at being able to pay our operations manager. There'll be more detail about both those posts, and in addition to that, we've also got a property manager, so we're able to really work the grants hard, maximise the spend, make sure we're being good investors of the money that we're getting in, and that makes substantial difference to more than keeping the lights on. That's the biggest change really, is the fundamentals, putting in place practical stuff that works, personnel and staff who are paid to do what they do, and in addition, of course, we have the asset of the van now,
yes,
and also a hob car, which is an estate car.
This is all, I mean, yeah, we started talking about just change as in terms of change that comes out your pocket, but there have been so many changes since we started this campaign, and talking about, you know, developing our help and what that change, that money has led to. We're now open on a Tuesday because we can keep those lights on a little bit better.
I think the other things that I've noticed change, which is an indirect usage for us, is the increase in surplus food, which we can now manage better. So we've been able to change the way that we manage that.
Well, in a better way to put that, we've changed how people see us and how people see their surplus goods. So, for example, Pound Stretcher have come on board, which has been fantastic. I mean, this week we got loads of bottled drinks.
Just
we've
in time
got pet
for summer.
food.
Yeah.
We've Pound Stretcher have been absolutely great. So, like things like chewing gum, which might seem a bit irrelevant, but it is something that you watching this might go and grab some chewing gum. You might like it. Imagine if you couldn't even afford that. It's like 32p. Some people genuinely can't even afford that. So all these little things are making our offering at Cafe 43 and the front end at House of Bread at point of crisis really, really normal. People are coming to us and their lives are chaotic, and we can say, right, what did you used to live like? We can help you out with this, and this, and it makes them feel so much better.
I suppose the other big change for us is working with partners, particularly the newest partners. I know we've talked about the CAB in the past, but the Recovery Hub particularly, and it's using their services, they're providing services, and we can tap people into those services. So it's a great extension of the offer that we've got. So whether it's walking groups or whether it's gardening, suddenly we've got a whole extra range of activity that our friends can engage with.
And there are other changes that we will never be able to relate to you, just the way me and Will are working these days, through how people are changing the way they volunteer, and it's been absolutely fantastic. We've got a really, really good army of volunteers at the moment. If you want to come down and volunteer, you are more than welcome. There is always space, but there has been a big shift into how certain people in the core team at House of Bread have been able to focus on different aspects rather than filling the kettle with hot water, rather than filling everything with sugar. But we still do that. We still roll up our sleeves, literally, sometimes. But just to have that backup, that if somebody needs help, comes in and needs help, it doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't get that cup of coffee.
I think you're right. I think the development around the children's work, the caseworker work,
another huge change,
another massive change, but also, as you say, the infrastructure, the stuff that's behind the work that we do that facilitates the front end work, and for a lot of people who might be watching this, they think, well, I'm not quite sure if I can cope with sort of interaction in the cafe. There is a whole lot more that goes on, whether it's the development around the mailer, whether it's the development around working smarter and more effective with databases, research that we need done. We've got a lot of different things, and the more that we can bring to the party in terms of your skill set, it's about matching where you are, and that's what it's about. Come and see us, have a chat, as so many people have done.
And that's the only reason we've had so many of these changes. We've got the van because of you guys. We've got volunteers because of you guys. We've got so much because of you, and we can't thank you enough. It's just been this change campaign. I can't remember when we started it, but it has been amazing. It's really, really racing forward, House of Bread. It's fantastic. So talking about racing forward, we are on to the summer campaign.
Yes.
We briefly touched on to Hob News. Will, in the summer campaign, we talk about how it's also difficult to be homeless in the summer, not just the winter.
We're already seeing the evidence of hydration issues. We had one or two of our friends who've been taken to A&E because they're just not taking on board enough liquids. So we're making sure
the correct liquids.
Well, the correct liquids, yeah. We're making sure that we've got access to shade. We're extending our hours so that they're less likely to be in the middle of the public space. So there's a whole lot of issues around that which we'll unpick and make sense of. I think the other thing as well is I'm going to bang on again about the provision of service that is there and how to access it. So come armed with knowledge into a situation. You will feel more secure about advice and guidance if you actually know what you're talking about. And it's helpful in all sorts of things, whether we talk about the defibrillator and what you can do there as a member of the general public. But I think we're going to encourage you to get more informed, find out what's available, and then use your skill set to referring people into us.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And we apologise if you've been watching these for a few years and we're repeating ourselves. Just use it as a way of showing other people what we're talking about. Definitely. If you know that not everybody is as knowledgeable as you are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it feels like this Change 19 has been fantastic.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. Change will still happen.
Yeah,
so
totally.
We'll be talking about that. But I think that focus on change just really gave you an idea of how far we've moved in the 6 or 7 months that we've been running Change 19.
And just an FYI, there might be a very soft launch to the 10,000 tin challenge coming up, because as we will point out probably in the first episode, how the donations change in the summer months. So moving on, Change 19 for another year is over, or well, the Change campaign. Yeah. Change 20 it will be next year. God. I know exactly what's going to happen because I've got 2020 vision. That's the comedy. It's paid to laugh. We're going to stop talking. Thank you very much for joining me, Will.
It's all brilliant.
Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out Hob News on Sundays at 4. Thank you very much for watching these videos, and please do like and share them. There for everybody, not just the people of Stafford who support House of Bread. We're going to go now and see you on Sunday. Goodbye. Bye.